I love fat burger.
With no clothes.
My mommy's in there.
Okay, so you're saying I'm fat.
No.
Did I take their sheets? I'm a T-Rex.
By the way, that was an Impossible Burger.
Fries, that gas, that goo-goo, that kush, that green.
So, no.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Day 2.
Hello.
Oh, look at him. He's a walker.
He is a walker.
He's a walker.
Looks like he walks.
He's walking. He's fit. Fit people walk.
I don't think walking makes you fit.
Well, I mean, it doesn't make you unfit.
I walked to work yesterday.
I know.
Yeah.
You're fit. That's
I
why
am
you're
fit.
all bright today.
I'm bright and chipper.
You're all green with envy. It's
This is yellow.
it's like a greenish yellow.
Well, it's
It's like
just neon yellow.
it's like what I call a happy puke because it's very bright.
If somebody were puking up this color, that would be pretty concerning.
What if it was a unicorn?
Well, it would be rainbow if it were a unicorn puking.
Could have been one of the colors, like you only got, because that could be a wide puke. Okay. Your lipstick's a little redder today. It's like a darker.
My lipstick was pink in the last one, and it's like orange, like a dark brown orange.
You made it sound like what I was saying wasn't true, and then you explained it as true. Meaning that was pink and this is a darker.
Yeah, you said like red or something though.
I just said it was darker. I was like, you decided to go darker.
Well, the good thing we have camera evidence.
Well,
We can go back. Anyway, you're wrong yet again.
Pretty much why we do this is to find the multitudes of ways that I can
You could
be
be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Helps me grow.
it does.
As a person.
Yeah, that's what
So,
honesty does.
I thank you. I thank every day.
Returned some stuff to the Grove yesterday.
Did you think I was going to slam
Well,
out of the
you're
car?
just a really bad driver, so.
I haven't. It's not even close. I'm like 4 feet away.
Yeah, but you weren't.
I didn't back up while we were talking.
It doesn't matter.
Well, it's, safety is important. What did you return to the Grove?
Some sequin pants that were too.
That were 2 sizes too.
No, they weren't too. No, they were too small.
Okay. I was like,
They only had extra smalls, but I was like, I'll just buy them, and I know they're not gonna work.
and
But
just squeeze.
yeah, there's only so much squeezing you can do.
Wow, stretchy pants.
Yeah, these weren't stretchy. So,
So, topics.
I have some topics.
Oh, that's great. That's amazing. When did that happen? Did you think of any new topics in between our topics that we had that we didn't get?
No.
Well, before we go into the topics,
Yeah.
so the question being is, how many topics do we do?
Well, a lot of them are the same.
They're not. There's 2 that are the same. The rest of them are not the same.
There's just there's about 4 wines on here.
We were drinking wine and were drunk when we made the topic,
So that makes sense.
Yes.
Rosy Notes, which also has to do with wine. Mochi balls.
That doesn't have to do with wine.
Unusual fears. Vices, favorite foods. Waiting on marriage. I don't know what that means.
What?
That's one of the topics that we put.
Waiting on marriage?
I couldn't tell
For
you.
sex?
I have no idea, but I don't
When
want
were
to
we-
talk about that.
I don't know. I didn't put that down. That's
I
one
didn't.
of yours.
Well, we've obviously put it down together, so there's got to be more to that story.
I was not typing in the phone at the time.
That's
so
true.
We're going to have a conversation about that off camera.
There's nothing that I want to talk about.
Okay. Well.
How many kids do we want?
That tracks with the waiting for marriage comment, I guess. Okay.
This really,
I
we
think
took a
you-
deep
I
dive.
think you added to this list after I left.
Can we adopt Carlisha?
I remember that one.
So this was after the whatever. It doesn't matter.
You know.
I really liked the Vice's unusual fears and favorite foods.
Okay, well, let's start with favorite foods.
Let's try and pretend like we're comedians and like we didn't just come up with these topics, like wrote them down. You know, they just like funny story, like how they segue into stuff, and you're like, did you just come up with that, or was that
planned?
Was that planned?
You'll never know.
You'll never know.
You'll never know. How about this one? I got my car smogged right there. Like, it was a year ago, and then I got the DMV thing again. And here in California, you have to smog it like every other year. And it's a hybrid. But because it's a hybrid, like it's never gonna to fail. It won't fail smog ever. But I always think it will.
Why?
I don't know. It's just one of those.
Because you think your car's
Whoa. What was that, dude? What was that?
lying to you, or?
Yeah. No. It's just one of those. You know, it's like an unusual fear where it's like you're just like, I think it's gonna fail, even though it's not gonna fail. Like it can't fail, but it will, because then you have to replace the battery pack and you have to replace all this stuff. So it's one of those things where it's like, I know it's not true, but I'm just a little bit. What was?
Go ahead.
You did nothing from that.
No, I was just falling asleep, but it's fine.
Well, you know what?
So where does the story end? I need to know.
You know what I love about you, Quartz?
What?
Is I brought the unusual fear into the story, but you just passed over it and didn't like. Did you? It's just an unusual fear. I did it right away, so well apparently that you didn't even pick up on it.
I was just like, wow, this is a really stupid story.
It wasn't a story. It was a segue that you were supposed to pick up on.
Now that I know that, it was a good segue.
Let me tell you, it's like being a reader where the actor's supposed to cut you off and they never do.
And you're like, gah.
Desmond, you want me to just keep going? You want me to just keep going? So.
You come up with another story.
Yeah, let me do another unusual fear story. Do you have any friends that are like allergic to foods?
There was a girl in college who was like deathly allergic to peanut butter.
My old agent was allergic to peanuts, but I have a friend and she's allergic to shellfish.
Oh.
And anytime we go anywhere that it's like, it's
fish.
Yeah, because she loves sushi. So we go, and she's always like, I have my EpiPen, because she's
not sure what has touched.
Well, no, it's just she carries her EpiPen everywhere because she is like deathly allergic to shellfish. So she always like gives it to me when we go into the sushi place.
You're like, I don't want this.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? And I know that I can just stab her in the leg with it or whatever, and it's not going to hurt me. It's one of those unusual fears where you're like, am I going to have to stab my friend?
Am I going to have to like...
Am I? And I don't...
Is today going to be the day that I'm going to have to stab my friend?
Yeah.
That would be kind of fun, though.
But it's like, no, I mean, it's one of those, I kind of want to do it, but I don't. And then I'm like,
right.
Well, what kind of a person am I if I do that?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, hey, like, and then it's like I have shrimp on my plate, and I'm like,
should I just
throw it over? I mean, I got the EpiPen. They're not going to die.
Yeah.
It would just be kind of...
It would be kind of interesting.
It would be kind of fun to just be like, give me your leg. Ah!
Yeah.
So, that kind of a thing. Just, one of those things that like goes through, it's like when you're up really high and you're like, I don't want to be really high because I'm afraid I might jump. Just because it's like, what if I want to do it?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was thinking of a different kind of high, but yeah.
Okay.
And now it makes sense.
I'm just saying it's
when you're
unusual
when you're up high.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So how about those Dodgers?
They're just so close this year. So
close. That's an unusual fear.
Do you have any unusual fears?
Drowning, but I don't think that's unusual.
Not unusual.
Hold on, let me just think.
Okay.
I don't know, because it's really weird. People are really scared of spiders.
Like arachnophobia.
Yeah, exactly. Arachnophobia. Spiders follow me. Like everywhere.
As in a cult?
No.
They're like on Instagram?
Yeah, the official verified spider page follows me on
Yeah.
Instagram. So it's pretty cool. It's like something unusual and different.
How many followers do you have? Like people or spiders? This is what I would call an unusual fear.
Well, I'm not scared anymore, though, because I used to be scared of spiders because they're kind of scary. But then I looked up the meaning, and they are about, like, weaving your own destiny and being a hard worker and being creative and following your dreams. Why is that funny?
It's not. It's beautiful. I laugh at beauty. It's just because it just brings so much joy. Yeah, it's like it's just too much emotion. I was gonna cry, but I laughed instead.
I do that.
Laugh.
Instead of cry.
Okay.
Do you have any unusual fears or no? Are you just kind of like, I'm cool. I'm a cool guy.
No, I'm sure I have unusual fears.
See, I couldn't really think of any, so.
But it's one of those things where it's like, we don't like to talk about
I
it.
know my unusual fear.
Okay, good to know.
I always get scared that I'm going to have a blowout, a tire blowout. Because you know when you're driving like down the freeway, they're just like tires ripped to shreds on the street, and you're like, what happened and how terrifying must that have been?
That's what I say. I go, what happened?
So, I don't know. That's one of my fears is just like, I'm driving. And
how often do you have this fear though?
Almost every time I drive.
Really?
Yeah. Especially if I'm driving, well, not if I'm just driving on streets, but if I'm driving on the freeway, I'm like, this would be a super inopportune time to have a blowout. And I hope it doesn't happen.
Do you, just out of pure curiosity, do you ever like sit there and go, now would be a great time to have a blowout? Just as on the yin-yang side. If
I'm like driving down a street and I'm like, say it's Fairfax or something, I'm like, if I had a blowout now, it wouldn't be bad. As bad.
Do you ever like drive by a service station going, like I could just pull in? Like I wouldn't even...
No, my tires are perfectly fine.
I'm just saying, if it happened now, it's kind of like being in a hospital and going like, if I had a heart attack right now, I'd be all good.